Have you ever spent the whole night staring at the ceiling, trying everything you can think of to fall asleep, yet still feeling wide awake? The older we get, the harder sleep seems to come. But is it really just age? Or is something else quietly disrupting your nights? Let me tell you about Robert. He is 68 years old, lives alone in a quiet suburb of Ohio, and spent most of his life sleeping like a rock. Vietnam-era Navy veteran, Robert used to joke that he could fall asleep even during a thunderstorm. But these past few years, something changed. It started small, waking up once or twice a night. Then he noticed he was dragging through the mornings, struggling to stay alert, and falling asleep in front of the TV by 6 p.m. But at night, he'd toss, turn, get up to use the bathroom, come back to bed, and stare at the clock. Midnight, then 2 a.m., then 4 a.m. "I thought it was just part of getting old," he said. "But I was starting to feel like a ghost in my own life. I wasn't tired. I was exhausted. There's a difference." Robert tried everything: over-the-counter sleep aids, warm milk, cutting out caffeine. He even bought a fancy white noise machine. But nothing worked. Then one day, a friend referred him to a nutritionist, not a sleep doctor, not a pill prescriber, just someone who understood how food affects the body. And here's the twist: the nutritionist didn't give Robert a single pill. She didn't even talk about sleep until the second visit. What she did was look at his dinner plate. She asked about his late-night snack habits. She asked what time he eats and what's in his fridge. It turned out, Robert had been sabotaging his sleep without knowing it, just by the way he was eating. Heavy meals at 8 p.m., a bowl of ice cream at 9:30, and a few sips of cola while watching the news. The nutritionist helped him adjust a few key things: what he ate, when he ate, and how he wound down in the evenings. No medication, no expensive gadgets, and within weeks, Robert was sleeping longer and waking up refreshed. So if you've been blaming your age for those restless nights, maybe it's time to look somewhere else: your kitchen. In this video, you're going to discover 7 simple foods that can help restore your natural sleep rhythm without drugs, without dependency, just using what you probably already have at home. These are foods that calm your nervous system, regulate your hormones, and prepare your body to rest deeply. Some of them might surprise you. Stick with us until the end, because what you'll learn here could help you sleep better starting tonight. And if you've ever felt like your energy is slipping away, or that your body just refuses to shut down when it's supposed to, this might be the missing piece. Let's not settle for restless nights and groggy mornings. Let's get to the root of the issue. Also, if you or someone you love has been battling sleepless nights, share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Why do people over 50 start sleeping worse, even if they have never had sleep problems before? It is a common complaint, but not always a well-understood one. This part of the video will explain the real, science-based reasons why your sleep may be declining and what you can do about it. If you are over 50 and find yourself sleeping worse than you used to, waking up more often, feeling less rested, or having trouble falling asleep, you are not imagining things. This is not just getting older. There are specific biological reasons behind it. And the good news, many of them can be improved once you understand what is really going on. Let us start with the brain. As we age, our body produces less melatonin. That is the hormone that tells your body it is time to sleep. Think of it like your internal dimmer switch. In younger years, your brain floods your system with melatonin after dark, especially when it is quiet and there is no light. That is what helps you fall into deep, restorative sleep. But past the age of 50, melatonin production can drop significantly, sometimes by more than 50%. And that means your body does not get the same clear signal that it is time to rest. Add to that a drop in serotonin, the feel-good chemical that helps regulate mood and sleep. Without enough serotonin, sleep becomes lighter, less stable, and more likely to be disrupted. Now, let us talk about something even more invisible: your body's clock. Your circadian rhythm, also called your biological clock, controls when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy. But this rhythm is sensitive, and unfortunately, modern life throws it off balance more than we realize. For example, screen time, blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs tricks the brain into thinking it is still daytime. Even a short glance at your phone before bed can suppress melatonin and delay sleep by hours. Then there is the timing of meals. Many older adults eat dinner later than they should, often out of habit or loneliness. But eating after 7 p.m., especially heavy meals, can confuse your internal clock. Your body ends up digesting when it should be winding down, and that leads to tossing, turning, or waking up in the middle of the night with a racing heart or a full stomach. Stress is another silent thief of sleep, and unfortunately, people over 50 often face high levels of emotional stress, retirement worries, family issues, health concerns. Chronic stress raises cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. Cortisol tells your body to stay alert and active. That is the exact opposite of what you want at night. But there is one more thing most people forget: digestion. As you age, your digestive system slows down. The stomach empties more slowly. The liver processes nutrients less efficiently. Even the enzymes that break down food become less active. The result: that bowl of pasta or glass of wine you used to enjoy at 9 p.m. now sits heavy in your belly, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. In fact, a study from the National Institute on Aging found that delayed gastric emptying, slower digestion, is a major contributor to nighttime discomfort and insomnia in adults over 60. The more undigested food sitting in the gut, the more likely you are to feel bloated, gassy, or restless through the night. And when digestion is disrupted, so is detoxification. Your liver does a big part of its cleaning work at night. But if it is still tied up processing food or alcohol, your sleep suffers. You might wake up groggy, dehydrated, or with a mild headache, even without drinking much the night before. So no, your sleep is not declining randomly. It is the result of real, measurable changes in your hormones, digestion, and daily habits. But here is the hopeful part. Many of these things can be corrected. The foods you eat and when you eat them can either help or hurt your ability to sleep well. Choosing the right foods at the right time can reset your rhythm, soothe your digestion, and help your brain return to its natural sleep cycle. In the next part of this video, we will go through 7 simple foods that support better sleep, especially for those over 50. No medications, no gimmicks, just real, science-backed nutrition that works with your body, not against it. Because even if your sleep has been off for years, you can begin to change it starting tonight. Now that you understand why sleep declines after 50, let us focus on something even more important: what you can do about it. Starting tonight, you do not need pills or expensive gadgets. Sometimes, all it takes is the right food at the right time. Here are 7 sleep-supporting foods that work naturally with your body. Think of them as gentle nudges to guide you into deep, uninterrupted rest. 1. Banana, the gateway to sleep. Bananas are nature's simple sleep aid. They are rich in magnesium, vitamin B6, and tryptophan. Magnesium relaxes muscles and calms the nervous system. B6 helps convert tryptophan into serotonin, which later becomes melatonin, your sleep hormone. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition showed that magnesium deficiency in older adults was linked to insomnia and restless sleep. How to eat it. Enjoy one ripe banana, just lightly spotted, about an hour before bed. Too green, and it might cause bloating. Too ripe, and the sugar can spike your blood glucose. You want it somewhere in the middle. 2. Almonds, the guardian of calm. Almonds are loaded with magnesium and healthy fats. But what makes them truly helpful is their ability to lower cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps you alert at night. They also support steady blood sugar, which helps prevent those 3 a.m. wake-ups. Clinical trials from the University of Tehran found that older adults who consumed almonds regularly had improved sleep quality and reduced nighttime awakenings. How to eat it. A small handful, about 8 to 10 almonds, soaked in water for 4 hours. Then eaten plain before bed. You can also blend them into homemade almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon for a relaxing drink. 3. Kiwi, the natural serotonin booster. Kiwi may be small, but it is a powerhouse when it comes to sleep. It is one of the few fruits that naturally increases serotonin, which your brain converts into melatonin. A study published in Asia Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults who ate 2 kiwis 1 hour before bed fell asleep faster and stayed asleep longer. How to eat it. 1 to 2 whole kiwis, skin and all. Yes, the skin is edible if cleaned well about 30 minutes before bed. It adds fiber and nutrients. If you have a mild allergy or sensitive stomach, start with a small piece. 4. Cherries, the body's sleep clock reset. Cherries, especially tart cherries, are one of the few foods that contain natural melatonin. They also include anthocyanins compounds that reduce inflammation and support brain function. A 2018 study in Nutrients found that tart cherry juice increased sleep time and efficiency in older adults with insomnia. How to eat it. Fresh or frozen cherries, never dried. Dried versions are high in sugar and low in melatonin. 1 small bowl, 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, is perfect. 5. Sauerkraut, the gut-brain connection. This fermented cabbage might not sound like a sleep food, but it is one of the best for balancing your gut microbiome. A healthy gut produces more GABA, a calming neurotransmitter that quiets the nervous system. According to research in Frontiers in Neuroscience, improving gut bacteria can reduce nighttime anxiety and promote deeper sleep. How to eat it. 2 to 3 tablespoons of raw sauerkraut, not cooked, paired with a small serving of brown rice. Eaten 2 hours before bedtime. Avoid combining it with iron supplements or histamine-rich foods like aged cheese. 6. Oatmeal, the blood sugar stabilizer. Oats are rich in magnesium, zinc, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. This trio helps maintain steady blood sugar and prevents cortisol spikes during the night, a common cause of 2 or 3 a.m. wake-ups. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that complex carbs in oats can extend slow-wave sleep, which is the most restorative stage of rest. How to eat it. Half a cup of cooked oats with almond milk, cinnamon, and a few slices of banana, or blend it into a smoothie with oats, banana, and a spoon of almond butter for a light evening snack. 7. Chamomile tea, the gentle sedative. Chamomile is often called nature's Valium for good reason. It contains apigenin, a compound that binds to receptors in the brain and encourages calm, much like low-dose anti-anxiety medication, but without side effects. A 2016 randomized trial found that older adults who drank chamomile tea twice daily had significantly better sleep quality. How to prepare it. Use dried chamomile flowers. Heat water until it's hot, but not boiling, ideally around 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius. Pour the water over the flowers and cover the cup. Let it steep for 10 full minutes to release the calming compounds. Drink it warm, about 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. For added relaxation, mix in a bit of lemon balm or a touch of raw honey. 1. Last thing. You have just learned 7 foods that can help your body return to a more natural, peaceful sleep without relying on pills. Try 1 or 2 of these tonight and pay attention to how you feel the next morning. The key is consistency and timing. If you found this helpful, support the channel by hitting like and subscribing so you never miss another video. And share your experience in the comments. Which of these foods have you tried? What worked for you? Your story might help someone else finally get the rest they have been missing. Now that you know which foods can help restore your sleep, there is something just as important to understand what habits might be silently working against you. Because even the best bedtime snack will not do much if your nightly routine is quietly undoing all the good you are trying to build. Let's start with a common one: decaf coffee. Many people think it is a safe choice at night because it does not have real caffeine. But here is the truth. Most decaf coffee still contains a small amount of caffeine, usually around 3 to 10% of what is in a regular cup. That may not sound like much, but for sensitive individuals, especially after age 50, it is more than enough to disturb your body's ability to fall into deep sleep. And it is not just the caffeine. The familiar taste and smell of coffee can actually signal your brain to stay alert. You may not even notice it, but your nervous system does. Another habit that often gets overlooked is eating dinner too late. If your last big meal is after 8 p.m., your body is still busy digesting while you are trying to relax. This can lead to poor sleep quality, bloating, or even waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. feeling uneasy. Try to eat at least 2 to 3 hours before bed to give your body time to wind down. Next up, sugar, chocolate, and red wine. These might seem like comforting treats in the evening, but they can spike your blood sugar, stimulate your brain, or interfere with melatonin production. Even dark chocolate, which many consider healthy, contains small amounts of caffeine and can delay sleep. Finally, be mindful of how you prepare your herbal tea. Many people pour boiling water directly onto tea bags or flowers, thinking it will make the tea stronger. But extremely hot water can damage the calming compounds found in herbs like chamomile. The result: a weak cup that tastes fine but does little to help your sleep. So remember, the foods that support deep rest work best when they are not fighting against habits that pull you in the opposite direction. A few simple changes can help your efforts go a lot further naturally, gently, and effectively. So now you know. Good sleep is not just about avoiding screens, taking supplements, or lying in the dark hoping for rest. Sometimes, it starts with your plate, what you eat in the evening, and just as importantly, when and how you eat. It can make all the difference between tossing and turning and waking up truly refreshed. Let us take a moment to bring it all together. There are 3 core principles that can transform your nights naturally, without pills or complicated routines. First, eat at the right time. Your body needs rhythm, especially after age 50. Eating too late forces your system to digest when it should be resting. Aim to finish your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. This gives your body time to wind down, stabilize your blood sugar, and trigger the natural release of melatonin. Second, eat the right way. Choose foods that work with your body, not against it. We talked about bananas, almonds, cherries, kiwi, oatmeal, walnuts, sauerkraut, and chamomile. Each of these has unique properties that support relaxation, balance hormones, or calm the nervous system. But how you prepare and combine them matters. Do not just grab a banana. Pair it with a small amount of healthy fat or fiber for longer-lasting effects. Steep chamomile the proper way. Soak your nuts if needed. These small details make a big difference. And finally, understand what food really is. Food is not just fuel. It is information. It talks to your brain, your hormones, your immune system. Some foods signal stress and stimulation. Others whisper, "You are safe now. It is time to rest." When you begin to see food this way, your choices become more intentional, and your results become more powerful. You do not need sleeping pills to find rest. You just need to eat smart. The path to deep healing sleep might not come from a bottle, but from your own kitchen. And best of all, it can taste amazing. So, here is your next step. Pick one food from today's list and try it tonight. Maybe it is a banana, and kiwi smoothie. Maybe it is a small bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon. Maybe it is a warm cup of chamomile tea brewed just right. Whatever it is, make it part of your bedtime ritual. Stick with it for a few nights. Your body will notice. Your sleep will shift. And if you found this helpful, you will not want to miss what is coming next. In the upcoming video, I will be sharing 3 simple, delicious dinner recipes that are designed to help you sleep deeply, naturally, and consistently. These are meals you can make at home with everyday ingredients, and they are backed by science. So, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned. Because good sleep is not a mystery. It is a habit. And it begins with what you eat tonight.